Well, there's nothing like the Olympics that can make you watch a sport you know nothing about, and yet somehow afterwards you're welling up with pride, with emotion, with feelings that are so unique that only the Olympics can draw those out of you. Yes, we're talking about Jess Fox, of course, checking to see if her gold medal is made out of chocolate. We're talking Matildas, Mayhem, Rugby 7 Smash, Team GB, Simone Biles Twisties, Skateboarding with the Kids, Dream Team Commence, Rafa and the Joker, gearing up for a night in the pool that's going to make you feel so safe, so warm. Australia 1-2. That's what I want forever. 1-2 Australia. The morning after Paris is brought to you by Smith Optics Australia. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order at smithopticsaustralia.com. Pezza, I'm watching Jess Fox just ducking and weaving gates, and I'm somehow doing the same thing. I'm actually mirroring that in my living room at 1:45 a.m., just ducking and weaving like flies at a barbecue, just craning my neck around, moving the body, twisting contorting the torso. And I come away and I'm seeing her cry, and then somehow I'm welling up.
Oh, mate, it touched every button. Every emotional button and spiritual button able to be touched for Australians was touched this morning at 1 a.m.
With consent.
As we all woke up at 1 a.m. and white-knuckled it. Jess Fox had a difficult semi-final, so then had to paddle out quite early in the final, as we all know, and that's that has its own mind games effect that we all know about.
Of course, yeah.
But paddled well. Paddle she did. Commentated by her dad, Richard.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a thing with Jess Fox, right? Who
Dickie
takes
on comms.
and we'll start with Jess, obviously, because she takes home gold. A gold for the nation.
Yeah.
And not only gold, flag-bearing gold.
Flag-bearing gold.
Does a Jess Fox gold get much better? Let me come back to that in a second, He goes, because I want to firstly praise her. She's a weapon of an athlete. I think I've seen you liking a number of her posts on Instagram of her and her exercise regimes, etc. So I just figured, well, if he goes likes it, must be a weapon athlete.
Yeah.
But she takes home gold this morning, and it's not just gold, it's flag-bearing gold. And I do feel like Jess Fox is the embodiment of like puritanical prefect Australiana.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's the best in her field, like a lot of athletes are. But I also know in the press she's praised for being articulate. Yeah. She's praised for being expressive.
That's right.
Expressive of the face. She's warm with the media. Her dad is commentating. Yeah. And we are, a certain section of us are particularly warmed by all of this.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question to you. He goes, after Jess Fox's gold medal that we all shared in at either 1 a.m. or 7 a.m. as we were making breakfast and wrangling kids out the door. Hierarchy of female Olympic categories.
Okay.
So you have your run-of-the-mill Olympian, a female Olympian, which is a great category to be.
Nameless, faceless,
with
a shape.
But a tough sticker, an Olympics tough sticker tattoo, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Then you have a champion Olympian. You have a legend Olympian. You have an icon Olympian.
Right.
And then you have the apex golden girl. Now, I want to put it to you.
Yeah.
Has Jess Fox overnight ascended to golden girl? Is it a category only reserved for swimmers? Jess Fox being a water-based, someone who competes in a water-based sport,
water-based.
Is it possible to be a golden girl? Because she is puritanical prefect, flag-bearing Australian, multiple gold medal winner in the water. But can she be a golden girl?
French though, isn't she? Well, I think it's, I think overnight, she's gone above Madam Butterfly, Australia's own Susie O'Neill. I think it's above that.
Yeah.
It's above that. I think it is. I mean, so just
it's not an opera yet.
No, I don't think so. So she's now got 5 individual medals after canoe gold in Tokyo as well. She joins
Colours.
Ian Thorpe, Liesl Jones, Shirley Strickland, and Anna Mears as the only Australians to achieve this. She's now equal with Slovakia's, I want to say, Michael Martican. I want to say that, but I could be wrong.
Michael.
He's actually at gmail.com. Michel?
Mick.
Mick. As the most successful athlete in Olympic canoe slalom history.
Yes.
So Jess stands alone as the only Australian to win 4 consecutive medals in the same event. Only Anna Mears has also won an individual medal at 4 consecutive games, although in different events. She's obviously got the C1, her prime
C1.
event.
Yeah. But this is the one she wanted.
She wanted
and
it.
this was the elusive event
Because
having
there's a great narrative.
silvered in Tokyo. Is that
I think
right?
it was a bronze.
Was it a bronze in Tokyo and a silver?
And then we learnt that she was crying in the cab afterwards. Such was a disappointment because her time was actually good enough to win gold, but she clipped 2 gates.
Of course.
4-second penalty overall. 2 by 2 equals 4. And she finished in the bronze, and she was in absolute bits.
What about having to wait?
Crying in cabs.
Well, who hasn't? Over lesser matters than gold medals, to be honest. How about the fucking toll here? Oops. It's a cab service. Now, what about how excruciating it is, given the nature of the K1 slalom, to have to wait for the results of others? Now, I know there's other Olympic sports like this, but I do probably prefer an event where the performance itself delivers the result as you finish. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like rather than just having to wait to see others fuck up. Like, see for Jess, when her great competitor, whose name just escapes me at the moment.
Well, you want to say Ricardo Funk.
That's what I mean. Ricky Funk,
the German.
At the end, was paddling well.
She was in the green.
But then just absolutely smashed into that pole.
Oh, headbutted the line like Nathan Lyon in Ashes.
Did well not to escape without a wound. Right on the pike. Right on the pike there. Yeah. They throw the camera to Jess a little bit later, and she sort of throws her head back. Now she may as well just be up out of her chair, going, "You fucking ripper."
Yeah.
Anyway, I do like how, and I know other nations do this. I do like how how they bite their medals just to check that it's not chocolate.
Right.
If anyone can write in about that, the boys actually at gmail.com, like, what is this trend? And I know it's been going on for a long time. Like, better sink the old chompers into the gold that I've just received, just to confirm that it's real gold, the precious metal, and not Easter egg chocolate.
The only thing I could equate it to is being sung happy birthday and not really knowing what to do in that situation. You're on a podium,
there,
you're on a dais.
Yeah, what do I do with this?
I've got a medal. I'm Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying here?
Interesting.
So you've been gifted this lifelong achievement.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what to do with it. You weren't expecting what the weight of it was going to be.
Yep.
The actual tinge of colour, that whether it be silver,
rose
bronze,
gold.
or gold.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's if you're just clicking an iPhone.
Indeed. So if anyone could let us know if there's any other etymology or origin to athletes biting their medals, perhaps they're hungry. You know what I mean? Like, if you could let us know why they do that, and if it really is just a reference of metal chocolate, such as my 3-year-old son was given by by his grandfather over the weekend for his birthday.
Yeah.
Like, that actually was chocolate. I bit into it and I ate it. I was like, see, this isn't a gold medal, Barney. This is now in my stomach.
Okay, so it's also a win for the parents. You know,
Oh, well,
in fact, if anything, it's actually their win. When you think about it. Now, her mum, Miriam, also a coach, said this: "I'm so thrilled and happy for her. I failed to bring the gold twice in 2 Olympics I competed in, Barcelona 92, Atlanta 96.
Wow, interesting language.
So I know how hard it is. So for Jess to do it in this stadium is amazing. Richard on comms, he obviously competed for Team GB back in the day. Her mum, Miriam, competed for France. Now, this is a win for them, living their dreams through their kids, When Jess said, I want to be a school teacher, I wanted to try gymnastics. No. We're doing whitewater rafting every day.
That's right.
Until you win the medals that I didn't bring.
That's right.
Yeah.
I failed to bring home the gold.
Yes.
And what we'll do is, I'm from France, he's from England or some shit, whatever country.
You know where's nice?
And you know where
Penrith.
we'll exactly where we'll be able to ascend from our weak silvers and bronzes.
Yes, pathetic.
And that is the Nepean River.
The Nepean River, which is nice this time of year.
It is nice this time of year.
It is nice this time of year, to be fair.
Shout out Matthew Thompson, by the way, on the swimming comps. Played several years of Sydney Test cricket for Penrith.
He did. I played against him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How'd he go?
Yeah. Therefore, I'm competing. I'm actually
That's right.
swimming
You're,
in the Olympics now. Yeah.
And look at you both. Now, let's just do a bit of an Aussies roundup. Here goes. I think we covered off Jess Fox very well.
And
there.
Jeff.
Not to be confused with Jeff Fox.
Oh, yeah. Or Jeff
I don't know who that is. Just an Aussies roundup here. He goes, I know you're... it's a good show. Now, just looking at the straight headline, the Matildas beat Zambia 6-5.
Yeah, what a game.
Now,
a game.
If you look at the sometimes propagandized Australian media, it's being described as a wild and historic comeback.
A great comeback.
A great comeback.
Down 5-2, Pezza.
Yeah, and down 3-0, weren't they?
3-1.
Is that right? 3-1.
3-1, 4-2 at halftime,
Right.
5-2 just after the break.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Boys, actually. Can you run us through the reaction to this? Because we both enjoy our football.
Yeah.
And if you win a game 6-5, firstly, it's almost unheard of. But just shipping 5 against Zambia.
Oh, yeah.
Are we having that?
Who was 65th in the world.
Mate, are we having that? Should we run through the game? Do you want to run through the game quickly and then let's analyse?
Real quick. So Banda for Zambia scored a hat-trick. She scored 3 hat-tricks now for Zambia across 2 Olympic Games.
Stunner to begin with.
0 wins. Oh, well, so I'll get into that in a second. Then is it Rachel Kundananji?
Yes, that's it.
Scored a brace. She's the most expensive footballer in the world. Went to Bay FC out of San Jose for £625,000 maybe last year from Madrid. Steph Catley hit a free kick / a back pass to Masole, the keeper, who tried to catch it with 2 pieces of iceberg lettuce. And then Michelle Heyman hit the winner for Oz in the 90th minute. Heyman retired from international football in 2019, had an outstanding A-League season. First player to score 100 goals in the A-League, so she's back, won a game for Australia. That's all good. So that's what's happened in the game. They were down. And like with the goals especially, like at the beginning, I thought Australia's been a bit unlucky here. Like there's been 2 world-class finishes. The first goal from Banda in the first minute was an absolute worldie from outside the box. Top of the crossbar, bounced in over Macca there in goal for the Aussies. The second goal was a great finish off the left foot, inside of the post again. Then the third goal was a attempted clearance deflected off a Zambian player in. And you're thinking like, have Australia just been a bit unlucky here? And then the rest of the game happens and I thought, Jesus Christ, this is fucking terrible. That's how I felt.
And got to be careful being that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like being I think I played all age 5th division for Canterbury in the Canterbury
sides,
league.
To be fair.
That's right. Canterbury, there were some good sides in that division 10 years ago or more, 12 years ago.
It was a stronger league back then.
I've got to say that some of the stuff you're looking at last night is just dog shit. In this game. And I'm not including other nations within this. And I'm not speaking about women's football generally. I'm talking about this particular game.
Yes.
Shout out to Barbara Banda as well. Hat-trick and a worldie in a losing side. That's a fuck's sake, girls.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
Get the training.
That's right. So it's a wonderful result. Let's get the training, etc. Follow me.
Yeah.
But I just look, this is sacrilegious and could lose us a lot of viewers. But when are we asking questions about the Tillies? Because
when's the statue going to be built?
And the statue outside the fucking Suncorp or whatever the fuck they're talking about. I'm not naming any women's cricketers, but they got a lot of crow's feet about their dominance. Vis-a-vis.
Well, the swimmers might start feeling the same as well, just from an Olympic perspective. But
and some of them are golden girls. But like Tillies, what's doing? They've been towed up by Germany, who in turn were towed up overnight by the USA.
Correct.
They've just stumbled over the line against Zambia, shipping 5. I know they're Sam Kerless.
Yeah.
But the way we talk about them like a medal hope, there seems to be like 10 other sides out of a group of 12 that are playing better football.
So there's only 12 sides in the World Cup. Australia are ranked 12. Everyone else is basically in there except for New Zealand, Nigeria, and Zambia. Now, like, here's where I think with the Matildas, I think in my life, also TG, the coach, Tony there,
Gustafsson.
He's saying that there's some cohesion issues, which sounds to me like a bit of
well, that could mean a lot.
A couple of
you're talking about like the left back and the left mid, and just not quite on the same
not quite
page
linking
there.
up together. Yeah,
no, I mean, yeah.
No, I know what you meant. No, but here's what I think with Matildas, right? I think the Matildas in my life have already given me the thing that I like. This team, like I want more a regeneration of Matildas sides coming through and like doing better things than this one. But
every
this
generation
team,
better than the last.
Exactly. This team, the Matildas, has perhaps already given us as a nation the thing that we all craved, which was connection and a great achievement by finishing 4th in that World Cup.
Yeah,
because it was more than just the games itself. It was empowerment of women and female athletes and how intensely loved that side was. Maybe they've already given us the best years that we're going to get out of this side. You know, like they've already given us the tournament.
I want people to stop talking about them like they're the greatest sports team in Australia.
Yeah,
they've won nothing. We're eternally proud of them, and it's great that the nation unites around the Matildas.
Right,
and the punch above the weight narrative is excellent as well.
That's good.
And we're so proud of Sam Kerr as one of the great players in the world, if not the.
Yeah.
Right?
Going head to head with Coppers in the
and taking on the English Coppers for good reason. right? I don't want to prejudice the case.
Yeah.
That's just my view.
Yeah. That's just one man's
That's
take.
one man's view, and it's an alleged take. Nah, see, I said alleged, so I'm scot-free now.
That's right. Hands clean.
Not to be confused with Great Scott, which is Doc Emmett Brown's comment. Now, but the 6-5 v Zambia getting towed up by Germany is not statue behaviour. That's all I'm saying. And I've got some crow's feet over the play at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's my right as a football fan.
I think they're a much better team than what they're playing at the moment. Hence TJ's comment about a lack of cohesion in the structure of play.
Well, any team playing shit has a lack of cohesion. You know?
Yeah.
What does that fucking mean? Look at me blowing up. They've got to beat the USA by 4 goals to finish atop the group. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Yep.
Are they a chance of making it through, he goes?
Well, so the results, this result also impacts Group A, where Canada must now win their last game against Colombia to advance as a superior third-place team. So, highest-ranked third-place side makes it through to the next stage. So here's the thing. We spoke about in the preview about Canada's nefarious play against New Zealand in training.
With your drones and whatnot.
With your drones and whatnot. Now, Canada were docked 6 points.
Right.
Out of a potential 9 points
Okay.
In their games. Now, they've actually won their 2 games since they beat New Zealand. They beat France this morning 2-1 with a stoppage time winner. So now they're on 0 points in their group.
Right.
They play against Colombia, who are at the top of the group on 3 points. France also on 3 points. Their last game is against New Zealand.
Logjam.
So Canada can still get through they can still actually finish as high as first, I guess, in their group if they win their last game against Colombia. If they draw, they will not get through. Australia will. Australia play the USA, who, as you just said, it beat Germany this morning 4-1, who Australia lost to 3-0. All looking pretty good. Australia are expecting to be absolutely thumped by perhaps the best team in the world, best team in the sport. So all looking pretty good. But Canada, yes, it's actually gone kind of crazy. Like the coaches involved in that have been suspended from any football involvement by FIFA for a year.
So this is because they were using drones to spy on New Zealand.
Yes.
So presumably that drone behaviour stopped. Imagine how good they'd be playing if they could still use those drones.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They could really figure out what's going on by watching their training and stuff.
And so this is the alternate Olympic Games that we talk about. Everyone can take drugs, everyone can use drones, etc.
Yep.
Let's see the full limits of athletes' bodies and minds, and then they die.
Yeah.
Okay, great praise C on the football there, he goes.
Thanks.
Let's move to skateboarding. Chloe Cavell finished 8th in the skateboarding final. She was a gold medal hope or a medaling hope for Australia. Yeah. Now, Chloe Cavell is 14 years old, so certainly a tightrope to analyse for us. Yeah. I admired her focus and determination in the way that she skated. You could tell the commentators there were certainly considered her a hope as well. Yeah. Obviously, we've all skated in our times. I just thought there was some lovely touches from her there. But just stacked at heaps. And
I used to have like the finger skateboards at school.
Yeah, we
like
still got
go
that at
off
home.
a ramp off like a folder, an A4 folder.
Well, my sons have that at home, so I had that going, just watching the finals overnight, just going, hey, you just got to get the nollie front flip nose grind.
Mate, is it? First of all, I really like skateboarding in the Olympics.
Yep.
I like it in terms of competition because it strikes me a little bit in the same as golf, where competitors are obviously, they want to beat each other, but they recognise that it's actually a really hard sport, that they actually get behind each other as well. There's not like this fierce, like, fuck you intensity about it. Like, they kind of want the other person to succeed in the same way that golfers respect good shots from, their opponents and whatever. But, like, when you're looking at this, when it's on television and, like, you're looking at literal children, like, there's, like, a 12-year-old Chinese athlete.
It's a tightrope.
There's like a 12-year-old Chinese athlete who's skating. He's just taking time off from making shoes in the sweatshop for American athletes, you know? For the Nikes. There goes that sponsorship.
Well, you already said you're looking at 12-year-olds, but
that's true.
So
it's like and then you're cheering on these kids to fall over. So your 14-year-old Australian succeeds.
Right.
It's a fucking weird.
A 12-year-old female Japanese skater goes down, and I'm fucking up and about in my house. Let's hope she did an injury to her hip as well.
Is it a compound fracture?
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded Tubby on comps for this, given there's a point system there, and also to apply pressure to Japanese and Chinese female skaters. That's just me.
Well, he's got tight with Fujitsu, so he couldn't do that for the Japanese.
Shout out to Liv Lovelace from Australia as well, skating with an AirPod in.
They always go with AirPods in. Probably listen to this show.
And also shout out to Luke Cavell, Chloe Cavell's dad, who was a hell of a goal kicker for Cronulla Sharks, West Tigers, maybe someone else as well. Look, a couple of other Aussies as well. He goes, before we get to the speak pipe, just to hear how other Australians are feeling around the nation and the world. Women's Sevens start strong. They don't have a nickname as far as I see. Boys actually at gmail.com if they do have a nickname that we're not aware of. It's not the Wallaroos, that's the national team. Right. They beat Great Britain 36-5. Good. They beat the Saffers 34-5. We're into the quarters. Biggest crowd ever for women's Sevens rugby that we've seen. New Zealand's favourite in this competition, just ahead of Australia. New Zealand knocked over China and Canada overnight. Seems like tough fixtures. And Maddie Levi's our star. She's the flyer for Australia. Captain,
she's quick.
Pace deluxe. I just want to ask you. Here goes. And firstly, shout out as well to the Aussie bloke supporting the women in the crowd, just dressed as a woman. That was cool. What do I wear today? We're watching the women, aren't we? Well, I'll dress as a woman. I just want to ask, have we... New Zealand...
Let's hope he's on the skateboarding tomorrow.
So let's hope that he's a man, as I thought as well, because then I am in trouble. But
just as a 12-year-old.
Don't go to the women's skating. That's all I'm saying, mate.
Be the beach volleyball under the Eiffel Tower tomorrow in a two-piece. Have we sent a message to New Zealand with these results? He goes, they're the sort of results where you're able to send a message to the opposition. New Zealand received the message cognitively. Australia's won these games. Yeah, it's sort of a calling card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this will be an important medal for New Zealand, famously competitive in other sports.
They've actually been pretty okay in the swimming. They've had a couple of swimmers. I've not noticed
a couple of swimmers jump in the pool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sort of fill out the numbers. Yeah,
that's good.
16 to get into the semis. Is this a message? Well, I mean,
have they sent a message, Australia?
Well, I would say that the victories against other rugby playing nations indicates that it's some sort of message.
Certainly, a message has been transmitted.
As opposed to who are they playing against?
Canada and China.
And
they shipped one against China as well.
Did they ship one?
Yeah, China got over the line.
Yeah.
Alarm bells ringing around NZ Rugby headquarters.
Well, I should certainly hope so. So are we gearing up for Australia, New Zealand?
Australia's through the quarters.
Sevens.
Let's hope it's not Bledisloe. Then we are in trouble. No, look, Australia's through to the quarters, and I don't care who we play. I don't care.
See, now that's a message.
Yeah.
That's a message.
That's a message.
I don't care who we play.
Hockey Roos get it done against South Africa. A couple of wins against the Saffers overnight for us. We might have lost some too, but they're just not in the headlines. 2-1. That's gold on its way. And now to the pool, he goes, just to wrap up the Australia overnight action.
Okay.
Emma McKean's 6 in the 100 fly.
Yes.
She was hoping to do a little bit better, but she wasn't really favoured to medal in any way.
No.
It's an emotional farewell for Emma McKean. She's Australia's all-time, that's her last individual event for Australia. She got relays and probably more medals to win, but all-time leading gold medal winner for Australia with 6, and a lot of the headlines discussing whether she fought back tears or simply cried when she was interviewed after her race.
I saw both. Can that be true? She fought them back.
Which is often how tears come.
Yeah,
they're initially fought back,
and the analysis of that is important, I think.
Yeah,
whether she cried or not. I just think
it's a bad headline. McKean fought back tears.
Fought back tears. Yeah. And then
I saw tears.
Did she succumb to the tears?
And would you use that verb, to succumb, or is it just floodgates open? Well, that's what I want. I mean, that's what the Olympics is for.
Yeah.
I want them from Emma McKean, particularly Emma McKean, who's like, when I see her in the pool, you used a beautiful word yesterday, regal. I mean, she's been ice cold in the pool. And I love the tears flowing afterwards. This is our most decorated Olympian. She literally has the most decorations on her.
Yep.
If she decided to decorate herself in medals. If people walked around with as many medals as possible, she would be the most decorated.
Kyle Chalmers got heaps of tough stickers though. So.
Indeed. What I wouldn't give.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Emma McKean. Francis Leon Marquand, whatever. He won France's first gold, or first swimming medal, in the 400 individual medley. He has one gold. They shout out
absolute
LA.
Weapon.
Yeah,
just clearly the apex athlete in that in that event.
Good for France. And Adam Peaty fell short of achieving his 3-peaty, a unsurprising twee moniker there bestowed by Britain, but he's a weapon swimmer as well, Adam Peaty. Dominated breaststroke for a long time. Couldn't get it done there, but 3 times in a row would have been unbelievable. So that's the Aussie wrap. He goes, can we just go to the fans or the audience and how they're feeling from overnight? This is the speak pipe. This is what you're sending in to us. These are your views on the Olympics so far. And I should say, there is a little bit of crescendo music.
Oh, good.
So here we go.
Oh, I feel so safe. Jess Fox. Not even her favourite event and she still wins gold.
Will the real Fox please stand up? And no, I'm not talking about Josh Adokar. I'm talking about Jessica Golden Girl Fox. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Let's drop that.
Fucking Australians, of course. Trying to take a lap after scoring 10 runs off the first over. Let's see what happens at the end, you fuckwits. Why don't you play some real sports and see what the medal count is then?
Fuck's sake, boys. How hard is it to hit the middle of a fucking diving board?
Boys, I just spent 3 hours at a party last night, drinking by myself in the corner watching the Boomers, because no one else cared. But we won. We fucking won.
Boys, I made a wine tasting. I don't know about you, but Arnie's stroke looked a bit off.
When's the missile racing?
So that's just a little summary of the views from around the nation. Here goes.
Yep.
You can get your views in. We want them every day. If you watch the day of Olympics or a morning or a night or whatever it is, speakpipe.com/morning after Paris. Just give us 10 to 15 seconds of your best.
We've got to thank our friend Smith Optics Australia, Pezza, where you can use the code FAST, F-A-S-T, for 25% off your order. For the helmets, here's what we're talking about, the road and the mountain. For the road, it's a Trace MIPS, and for the mountain, it's the Payroll MIPS. Protection with Koroyd and MIPS, super safe but super light. Integration with sunglasses is seamless, plus they look good, they feel good, and you look amazing right now. You know what?
Thanks, Doug. Get them on. It just gives you a little burst of energy as well.
Join you on the Smiths.
God, they're fast.
I've seen plenty of athletes actually kicking around, especially in the beach volleyball, wearing I'd say some rival brands, and I'd say inferior brands as well. If you're talking sunglasses, I'm actually talking here about the.
It's a choice of Paddy Cummins. It's a choice of Molly Picklum. In the surfing.
That's true.
Which did commence overnight, by the way.
The surfing started
over there in Tahiti. The shortboard.
Yeah.
Looking forward to covering that.
Use the code FAST for 25% off your order at smithopticsaustralia.com. Pezza, what else are we talking about?
Quick chat on everything else, as in other nations are involved in the Olympics. A big one from overnight. Simone Biles is back after well-documented struggles at the last Olympics and beyond. Now,
twisties.
I guess the question I have with Simone Biles, she got a case of the twisties, which isn't to be confused with the twisties that are caked all over many of us as we judge others at the Olympics.
Pathetic losers.
That's right. Stumble. Dim light and an ant infestation that you need to get rid of because you haven't stood up for a couple of hours and you've got other issues to deal with. Now, I guess my question to the listeners, viewers out there on Simone Biles is like, is it MS Dhoni stuff in the sense of like, to the casual observer, like, is there a gap between what you're looking at and what's actually happening, to the connoisseur of gymnastics? Does she have an oversized, or a disproportionate amount? Does she get a disproportionate amount of attention? All I can say as Joe Public casual observer is that she is just a magnificent specimen to watch move the rig. And so it proved last night. She looked magnificent. I think she's qualified for all her finals bar one. As far as I understand, she's part of a US team that is leading currently in the female gymnastics competition as well. So all in all, apart from twinging a calf, a dummy half there overnight, a successful Olympic return for Simone Biles.
Yes. I was watching the Romanians in their because they were in Heat 1 Simone Biles came out number 2. I think the Aussies were like 7 or 8 in the team event. So I watched the Romanians first, and it was like, it looks pretty good. And then Simone Biles does, and it's like, no, that's like 4 times as good. And I obviously am a connoisseur and have deep dived the Olympics in gymnastics history for decades. Of
course.
Ever since Nadia's perfect 10 in I want to say Montreal. Is that right?
I'm sure you do want to say that. Yeah.
Montreal, Munich. I think it was Montreal.
You're trying to test me because you are the connoisseur.
That's right.
Yes.
Like when you watch perhaps the greatest gymnast of all time compete, it's not just attention. I don't think it's so clearly better than everything else.
You know, there are some people in life who have a gift that seems to outstrip human possibilities, and they are operating at the cutting edge of what is possible. And it almost seems like abstract and ethereal to that. And I feel like that's what I see as a complete distant observer of Simone Biles, is that the movement is the edge of human reason. And it's a spectacular, like mesmerizing thing to behold. So it's great to see her back. She had both mental and physical issues at Tokyo, and you can only, when you watch the way they tumble and the scenarios they get themselves into, you can understand how one might lose some confidence from time to time.
Yeah, I was reading about it this morning, what Twisties actually is, and it's got obviously got a silly name, but it sounds actually quite serious, where they get like cognitively disoriented in midair, which I would imagine would happen all the time. But so it happened in Tokyo for her during either a heat or a warm up or something, where she was supposed to do 2.5 twists and she did 1.5, and she lost how many times she twisted. And
it's like forgetting how many balls are bowled and over. You know what I mean?
It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. What day of the week is it? But like, so they have almost like an out of body experience where their mind is separate to the body. And gymnasts say they have it all the time. They call it twisties, but it obviously happens when you're twisting and tumbling and whatnot. So it's got a silly name, but it sounds actually quite scary because it can lead to like serious injury.
Right,
people landing on necks and stuff.
Oh dear. Audience member, listener, viewer Hannah actually piped in with a gymnastics comment. So if we want to hear what Hannah has to say, again, and everyone's welcome to send these in to give us little tidbits, or as the UK says, titbits on your particular sport.
Hey boys, former gymnast here. I like to think I could have been at the Olympics had I not gotten boobs, but instead I just have like a massive amount of knowledge of a sport no one cares about most of the time, except for like a week during the Olympics. But shout out to Jesse Moore, who is only the second Australian man, we think, to make the all-around final since it moved to the final being top 24, which is a massive achievement. I say we think because record keeping in gymnastics is notoriously quite crap, but we'll take it and we'll celebrate it.
Okay, thanks, Hannah. Jesse Moore. Shout out. All the best in the final, we believe.
Now, I actually looked that up before. He actually didn't make it, so Hannah's wrong.
Yeah, oh well. Not the first person to communicate with this program to correct us on things and be wrong about it themselves.
That. No, I appreciate it, Hannah. That's good knowledge.
Thanks.
So, because I was watching a bit of it last night with LJ, and you're always so much more invested in the sport when you've got Jeopardy in it. And Jeopardy just being like someone broadly in the same, the
game show just next to it, just to keep things ticking over.
What is balance beam? So if I've got an Australian competing in it, and someone that's quite good, then I'm all in.
You have a dog in the fight.
I've got a dog in the fight.
You have some horse flesh in the fight.
What's your favourite gymnastics?
That's
repertoire.
Without notice.
Events for me, rings. I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say rings because it's the way the arms pop out.
Highlights the rigs so well.
The rig shots are unrivaled.
Yeah, and they try and keep the rings as still as possible. Yeah, and it's like how the fuck do you do that?
You wonder what the core's doing, what the app's doing there. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it now.
It's like the opposite of water polo, where like it's all happening underwater. With the rings, it's just all out there.
Can I say, without prejudice, save us to costs, that I actually quite like the men on the rings, like the way a rig pops out with the men.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are there other options? Easy for me to say.
Do the women not get on the rings?
I don't think they do.
Really?
Oh well, I've
boys actually.
Boys actually.
I'd imagine they do. They can do everything now. All right. Next, Dream Team's underway from the USA. Not to be confused with the Redeem Team, or the first incarnation of the Dream Team, beating Serbia 110-84. KD 23 points. Jokic 20 for the Serbians. They'll be there deep, Serbia, but the USA all the way. South Sudan basketball enjoying a moment in the sunshine. Here goes a couple of NBL players, so we'll claim that. Just went down to the US in a warm up game by 1 point.
Yep.
It took the gas, actually. Yeah. They've beaten Puerto Rico. This is a young country, South Sudan. They've beaten Puerto Rico overnight for their first ever Olympic win, 90-79. Wow. And given that there's an Australian relationship to it, that's a dog in the fight for us. If they go deep, South Sudan's your second team.
What does this mean for the Cairns Taipans?
exactly. And the jack jumpers. Now, Nadal wins in the first round as well. He'll take on Novak Djokovic at Roland Garros.
Yeah, and we saw the Australian have some fun against Djokovic. When I say he had some fun, he actually handed his racket to the crowd, so in case anyone else wanted to play, because he couldn't
and
take
Djokovic
a point
didn't
off
rate
him.
it. Yeah. Anyway. So Nadal plays Djokovic, and Nadal saying just trying to keep the body going, to be honest. And I like that from Nadal. I hope he's as we would say, playing silly buggers.
Yeah. Well, speaking of keeping the rig just going, Andy Murray has got through to the next stage of the doubles with his brother,
Tour de France.
with his brother Jamie. Yeah, he's in the Pyrenees at the moment, actually. But he's got the polka dot jersey, so all things looking pretty good for the Murray brothers.
It'll be us towards the end of this coverage.
Yeah. No, so they
Andy Murray's taking out the Giro d'Italia, just mixing up events.
The Murray boys beats the Japanese pairing, and they saved 5 match points, many of those in a row as well. So they are playing against either the Belgians or the Hungarians, depending on who wins the next round of the doubles. And obviously for Andy Murray, who had his sort of swan song at Wimbledon, pulled out of the singles because the rig no good, played in the doubles. Obviously didn't go all the way there, but this is his last his last event as a professional athlete. So a sign off at Roland Garros. Hopefully he can go all the way, because Andy Murray seems like a stand-up bloke, to be honest.
I liked hearing Nadal talk about how important the Olympics was to him. I do feel like the Spaniards bring on, like, they have a good national flavour. They have good pride. I like the way they express their pride, the Spaniards.
Because Djokovic is playing for the Golden Slam, and I think only Nadal has done it where they've won every major plus a gold medal. And I think Nadal's got 2 gold medals.
Yeah, nice.
So, and Djokovic...
I just like that Nadal seems to me to be like a sportsman. He's fucking competitive. Golfer as well.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
He's competitive. I like his brand of competitiveness. Anyway, I'm a Federer guy, which is important to note. I just a little bit of colour off the side here. South Korea was introduced as North Korea at the opening ceremony.
By Joe Biden.
By Joe Biden. When their country was announced in French, then it was correctly announced in English. But just wanted to note that. Easy mistake to make. Always mix up South Korea, North Korea. A couple of boys actually. He goes, we tried to keep the show to half an hour. We couldn't. It's indulgent. We're going to do our best as the Olympics goes on. This is from Scott Casey. He goes, boys, actually, the reason why the Australians so far seem to really fucking want it is after consultation with Steve Orr and Anna Mears, took the athletes to Villers-Bretonneux. So the village was naturally mispronounced every time, as is our right, after burying 50,000 blokes there like 5 generations ago.
Is he talking about the greatest generation, though?
After walking around and connecting with the spirit of the diggers and being told how despite our small force we at once held 25% of the Western Front and basically took on the Germans by ourselves in the spring of 1918, the athletes returned to the village ready to do it for the diggers and break bulk records on day one. So now we understand.
Diggers stuff.
I don't even know if that's true. Steve Orr actually over there, or wouldn't?
Well, he's got some Olympic tie-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if he's invoking the slouch hat and Gallipoli, well, I'm fucking all for it.
Where's the imagery?
I'm not sure I could be more into these Olympics so far, given Australia's still leading the gold medal tally with 4.
If Steve Orr's out there, it's going like 50,000 blokes were buried here like 5 generations ago. Let's go. Anyway, Thomas Patterson says, boys, actually, just casting an eye ahead to the triathlon later this week.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was reading a piece in the New York Times about the French government spending a lazy 1.5 billion USD, brackets, that's Billy with a capital B, to improve water treatment plants, build a network of underground sewerage pipes and install new water tanks to stop Parisian piss and shit flowing into the Seine during major rainstorms.
That's true.
As it's not stopped pissing down in Paris since the Olympic cauldron was set alight and fired into the air, it seems that the 1.5 billion spent might have been all in vain. Organisers are now thinking of either postponing the triathlon event until later in the games or scrapping the swim leg completely due to serious concerns that the Seine is now contaminated with E. coli. Triathlete Seth Ryder, aka Sesh Ryder, who if you couldn't guess by his name other than his behaviour, should make it clear where he's from, the US of A, is leaving no stone unturned in his preparation. Quote, we know there's going to be some E. coli exposure, so I just try to increase my E. coli threshold by exposing myself to a bit of E, brackets as he refers to it, in your day-to-day life. Just little things throughout your day, like not washing your hands after you go for a piss or shit, he said. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Aussie triathlete Matty Hauser, was quizzed if he'd take to the water even if it was contaminated with E. coli. Bloody oath I would. Good to go, he said. We've swum in worse stuff before and taken some vaccines and stuff like that. Translation, or some shit. That's the sort of I'm ready to go, couldn't give two fucks nonchalant bravado that I want in my triathletes. Pencil Matty in to terrorise the field and most certainly the Dulton post-race all in the chase for gold. Go well, fellas, Tom.
We have really come full circle given the last Olympics 3 years ago were, still involving face masks and separation, no fans in the stadiums, and now we're just swimming in the ocean to get some E. coli.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, thank you. It is Coco Goff, a.k.a. Darren Goff, not Coco
my mistake.
Golf,
my mistake.
a.k.a. Harris Ralph.
I wouldn't say it's intuitive.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you. That's heavy corrections on that. Darren Goff. Previewing tomorrow, Arnie versus Molly in the 200 free. Now we're looking at one. We're looking at 1-2 here.
Oh, we're looking at 1-2.
Is the only thing better than a goal is just to shower yourself in the majority of medals available.
Now here's the thing, Pezza, because these athletes will care which one gets which, and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm so thirsty for gold. Look, if I had to choose, I want the record breakingness of Titmus defending the title that no one's ever done before in this event.
Titmus wins gold, becomes a golden girl.
Golden goal, yeah.
Not yet. But if she wins,
it's a tough school. But
she becomes a golden girl.
Yeah, she becomes a golden girl.
Let us know, boysactuallygmail.com. How do you become a golden girl? I like Molly too.
Yeah,
Molly O.
I don't give a fuck.
Not to be confused with Willie O.
1-2. Just give it to me.
Yeah. And if it's not 1-2, Royal Commission.
Get Tugger over there.
Yeah.
Two more bodies.
Did they get out to Villas Breton Yo? Just this headline from Code Sports here. He goes, Paris Olympics lays bare Australian swimming's brutal medley relay truth. The brutal yet inescapable truth facing the Australian team now and in the immediate future is that the Dolphins are only a freestyle nation, plus Kaylee McEwen.
Oh.
The gaping weakness in the swim team that has now left both our men's and women's medley relay team exposed and fighting a battle even to reach the podium in Paris is that Australia is well off the elite pace in world swimming in some form strokes.
Seriously, if you're worried about what future Olympics hold for you, you need to take your hard drives for a swim.
They're worried about not fucking podiuming in the individual medley. That's it. We're fucking dominating everything.
And
freestyle is the style. Freestyle is getting from A to B as quickly as you can. The style is free.
Yeah.
You do what you like. You do what you wish to get there. And we're A to B at pace.
Pezza, right now, which is all I care about in Olympics terms, right now, Australia and Japan, top. Australia,
the ladder.
The top of the ladder. Now, that's not going to last. Let's be honest about that. But right now, I'm happy. When things start to change and we finish in a sort of a 5th or 6th behind the Netherlands or your Germans, perhaps, then I'll be like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's right.
And right now, just let me be happy. Don't worry about what's coming next.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Australia 1-2 tonight.
Opals v Nigeria tonight. Opals kick off. Harry Garside, one of 3 Aussies in the ring. Tristan Carter in the canoe singles and a host of other Aussies. He goes, we tried our best to get there in 30 minutes. We haven't done it.
Just so we've
covered off a lot of events. Yeah. And we are calling on your tidbits, your speak pipes. Boysactually@gmail.com, or if you want to hear your voice, speakpipe.com/morning after Paris. That's day 2.
And if you have enjoyed these shows so far, please do share it around amongst your friends. Get the word out. Tell them to search Morning After Paris on your Spotifys, your iTunes, your other places that you consume this program. And, of course, on YouTube as well, if that's your preference. Share around the Instagram stories or the posts or whatever. That would really help us out as well, because we want many people to get on board with this for the next few days over these Olympic Games. The 33rd.
33rd Olympiad.
The 33rd Olympiad. Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, can I say, tomorrow on the show, Deputy Chef de Mission, Kyle Vanderkuyp.
Come on.
And also Huey.
Yeah, come on. It's another big day. Thanks as always for getting behind us here for the Morning After Paris. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Cheers.